Hello there everybody and welcome back to Baxter's Blades. There is an open tag going around. I think Boston Blade Reviews possibly has started it. Big J Knives did a video. It's an open tag. It's modern versus traditional. Which do you prefer? I did notice Adrian James had a video a couple weeks ago, kind of under the same title of modern versus traditional, and this is my take on it. I'm going to get right to the beans, or the pudding, or whatever you want to call it. I'm 75% traditional and probably 25% modern. So let's start this off by saying, when I started getting back into knives, which was this Kershaw Almar assisted flipper. I love the green G10, the blade shape. It's only 8CR 13 MOV. Just love the design, love the size of it, the slimness of it, very pokey stabby. I got this one and I started getting back into knives since I was a kid, and in the back of my head, I was, I'm finding all these amazing deals on these petrified fishes for like $42. You can open them and close them with one hand. They come with this beautiful micarta D2 steel. Actually, this is Buller K10, which is D2 steel, just a different manufacturer. And I'm thinking, why would anybody want to spend $30, $40 on a traditional knife that you have to grab with both hands and go like this? Now, I would guess I was thinking more of from a standpoint of like a self-defense situation. Self-defense situation, you'll be able to grab it, flick it, boom, you're ready to go. I'm a big guy. I haven't had any problems. Not to say that, now let me knock on wood, that I'm not going to get attacked or I won't have a problem. I'm kind of reluctant to pull a knife out in a fight because you never know if they're going to pull a gun out. You got to think about that. You pull out this knife and you're like, hey douche, I'm going to chop you up. And they pull out a gun, they shoot you. So I usually try to avoid confrontation with words, but sometimes it's unavoidable. Despite that, so modern knives, that's one good thing they're good for. They're great for pulling out of your pocket fast, flicking open. There's ones you can pull out of your pocket and they're opening as you're pulling them out. They're great. Modern materials, lightweight. I think this was like $42. Love the clip point on that. Again, this was $42. So I'm thinking, why would anybody want to get these ridiculously old little slip joints where you got to grab it and then you're ready to go? Well, there's, different situations of why you need a knife during the day. And why I'm 75% traditional is I love them. There's way more patterns, way more bone materials, handles. They're affordable. If I drop this awesome trapper out of my pocket and kick it down the street on accident, I'm like, oh crap, I'm out $12, $13. Or not really. It'll probably hold up. It'll just be scratched up. Now this, wouldn't want to do that with this. It'd be roughed up. Probably still work. So there's a lot of things. So what I have here, I have traditionals over to the left. I got some moderns over to the right. I'd consider this kind of a modern traditional because it's a lockback. It's the old buck pattern, but it's micarta. It's very thin, easy pocket carry. It's got a thumb stud. Now you can't flip it open like the other ones, but you can. And it's got a modern steel. I love them all, but like I said, I've been leaning more toward the traditionals. In the middle here, I have some that are modern, but they're more traditional looking. This Roper, wood handles, kind of brass bolsters, nice old school clip point blade. But it's on bearings. You can flick it open. This is like $37. after I got the petrified fish, I was like, I got to get one of these. This is D2 steel. It was cheaper than the petrified fish, and it's kind of got an old school look. It's got a pocket clip. This Kaiser copper scales. Now, I know a lot of traditionals don't have copper scales. But for work situations, I mean, I can't sit there and pull it out two-handed like that. Work situations, a lot of times I'm holding something and I need to pull something out and cut. On a sailboat, if you're sailing, maybe you're holding on to somebody who's tangled on a line and you need to grab a knife and cut them out of it. I have this Sog Seal Pup. It's a little overkill for sailing, but this is kind of what you want on a sailboat. You want a fixed blade with serrated edges, because some boats flip over and some people get tangled in lines. I've heard many stories of catamarans, trimarans flipping over in a race, and somebody's trapped underneath the boat in a situation where they're tangled in lines, and you want to pull the fixed blade out and something you can cut rope fast. And I know a lot of people don't like serrations, but that's what they're good for. So if I was going offshore, a good stainless blade, I would bring this for sure. Now, whether it's modern or traditional, I guess it's a modern traditional, it's a fixed blade. So a lot of it depends on the situation. A lot of times I go to work, I'll bring a traditional for just, having. It's so fun to be on a job site and pull out, I don't know, something like this Barlow and cut open a package or cut open some signs, and people are like, whoa, they kind of look at you like, wow, that's kind of cool. Something different. My coworker has a zero tolerance. I do not have one. I guess they're really expensive. High-end blade steels. He's had it for a while. It was a gift, and he pulls it out, and of course he can flick it open really fast, but he goes to cut, and it's dull as crap, because he doesn't even know how to sharpen this blade steel. I don't know if he doesn't sharpen in general, but some of these high-tech blade steels, you gotta know how to sharpen. They're not so easy. You need diamond stones and stuff like that. So it's so funny he has this knife that's hundreds of dollars, and I think I pulled out my 112 Slim Select and cut way better than he did at the time. So I have some other ones here so this is a modern knife, the Cetus. Really cool blade. But it doesn't look traditional. I mean, it's got a pocket clip, but the wood gives it more of a traditional feel. Now, a lot of the materials like bone and wood and buffalo horn, there's just something, ram horn here, just different materials. I mean, this is ebony. You can get a $110 in ebony. There's something about it. And a lot of modern materials are micarta, and I love micarta. G10, get them in crazy colors. And they're very durable. Hard use knives that you can really beat on. Now, I'd go to work and I would thrash on this and not think twice about it. And if I had to, I could just buy another one. I probably wouldn't thrash on this Arthur Wright & Son Barlow. I could. It's about the same price. I think it was under $40. But it's nice to have. Pull out of my pocket. It gives me that feeling, as Brenny would say, harmonicas and pocket knives, or pocket knives and harmonicas. It gives me the fizz to be able to open this up, both hands, pull out of the pocket, and use it. And that's why I bring these traditionals to work also, because I'm always not in a situation where I need to just pull out of my pocket a knife and flick it open. This is a really cool petrified fish. It's ironwood, but it's on bearings. It's got no pocket clip, and the action's really incredible on it. So this is a good example of kind of a modern knife that looks traditional, but in actuality it's not, like the Roper. But then in the middle here we have some modern traditionals. They are slip joints. This is VG10. Is it VG10? Yeah. A lot of you guys have seen these. It's got micarta, made in China, Rough Rider 2285, the Apta. Great sound. This thing's like $10 more than most of these traditionals. These are like $12 to $17. This was like $27. I'll pay $10 more for a better blade steel. You know, 440A, it'll work, but it's kind of nice to have some blade steels. And my other modern traditional would be the Luna, the Real Steel Luna. G10 covers here. This is D2 steel. It's extremely sharp. I accidentally barely poked myself with the tip and just started bleeding massively. I got to be really careful with this one. They make these with thumb studs. I think thumb locks. You know, like this Echo here. They come in all shapes and sizes and colors. Really cool knife. This is lightweight. This is thin, easy carry. So there's such a wide range, excuse me, of knives. And everybody has different circumstances. You know, like I said, if I'm going to the sailboat, I might grab something like this. If I'm going to work, I might grab, I don't know, these two. Lately, I've been going to work, and sometimes I just look at the moderns, and I'm just like, they don't give me the fizz. They don't do anything for me. And heck, I'll grab a big knife, and then maybe a smaller one, a little Barlow to go with it, just because. You know, I guess it depends on the day. And sometimes I end up in a situation where I'm at work with two traditionals, and I'm like, dang, I should have brought something I could just pull out of my pocket, and boom, I can cut. But, you know, I'm not hanging from the side of a building most of the time without a harness outside of a bucket truck or something where I'm hanging on. On sailboats a lot, you are hanging on to the boat at one time, and you need the other hand kind of, one hand for yourself and one hand to do whatever you're doing. So I could see a lot of these moderns coming in really handy. And this is, I brought this one out because it's a good small size. Let's compare it, I don't know, let's compare it to a trapper. You know, they're about the same size. Thumb stud, or button lock. And they both do the same thing. They cut stuff. About the same thickness. Almost the same length. The trapper's a little longer. This got a pocket clip and this one doesn't. I just throw it in a slip. Or you can just throw them in your pocket. But traditionals, you get like buffalo horn. Really cool, unique blade shapes, handle shapes. This has a lot of wax on it if you can see it in the picture. And you get unique blade shapes for sure, and handle shapes for sure in modern knives. But these traditionals, they just do something for me. Like, I don't even like small knives and I'm buying something like this. This little teeny, they call it a little copperhead. I do not know why. But sometimes if I just need to open a letter or a package or a box or cut some tape or cut something, this works fine. I used my peanut today to cut a lime up. This is a good little crazy pattern lockback. It'll do most of what I need to do. Can I open it with one hand? Probably not. So what I'm saying is I would be a traditional knife guy. It gives me the fizz. Pulling things out like this and actually using them. You know, I was born in the early 70s. There's just something about it. It's like old sailboats. versus modern sailboats, old motorcycles versus modern motorcycles, old cars versus modern cars. Modern's good. It'll get the job done. Would you rather drive a 68 Camaro? Of course you would, but you're not going to do it all the time. Would you rather sail an old wood sailboat across the oceans? Of course you would, but it's definitely not as practical, and they're going to need a lot more work. You know, it's like the age of the steam taking out the age of the sail, but luckily, the age of modern knives hasn't taken away our beautiful traditional knives. They're really nice to have around. There's a certain zen about using both hands, opening and closing these. Like I said, not as convenient as whipping this out and cutting your apple. Not as fidgety. You can sit here all day and just sit here and play with them and drive people crazy. But sometimes I'll just sit there and listen to the walk and talk on my Barlow. So, I don't know. Sorry for rambling on so much. Just wanted to throw a few points out there and let you know where I stand. I do like modern knives. I am finding myself carrying the traditionals more often. But I do have a purpose for these modern knives, and it is nice carrying them, for sure. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night. And this is an open tag, so if you want to join in, feel free. Bye now.